Hello everybody and welcome back to Boss Bites. I'm the Bkbossman and today we're back having a look at the DJI Mini SE. Now this is my first real attempt at taking it out for a couple of flights. As I said in the last video, I have had a little bit of experience with light helicopters, things like that, but never really with something as nimble and as accessible as this drone, as you can see by the fact that I had to duck from it. It's all a learning process, and I wanted to share the experience of taking this DJI Mini SE out for its first little shakedown, if you like. Now, I have done some more videos since, so make sure you check back onto my channel. I've got some more ones which involve, for example, panoramic views and circulating around a subject while doing that. I've been working slowly and hard to get more of this together. Now, as you see, we've gone off from the beaten path where I was before, and we want to do a few height tests with the DJI now. So we're going over this little cliff face here. Now, just around the corner for me is a little quarry area. It's mostly deserted, really nice scenery. I'm going to come back here and do a lot more footage. Now, at this point, what I wanted to do was to try working with the DJI's cinematic mode, which slows down all the controls, helps to make everything smoother, a much easier way to do like cinematic panning shots and things like that. Now, I am recording in 1080p 60, so at this moment in time you'll see that there is a lot of detail in what's going on there, and I wanted to just get into the very close areas, do lots of nice slow panning shots and just make it all come together nice and slowly, nice and low, and just see what we can pick out with the detail on this little drone here. Now in this section what I wanted to do was to change it up a little bit. So now the drone is actually in the sport mode that it comes with, and that enhances all of the speed, makes it very quick, very rapid. It changes direction like a fly, as you can see there. It's very good for panning, and it's very good for kind of generating that kind of low level speeding, very quick ways of so for example, if you were trying to do some kind of scene where you were given the image of a rally stage or a fast moving vehicle over a dirt track, going down nice and low, bringing it down, gives you those kind of that feeling of being really close to the ground. And that's, you know, kind of one of the ideas that I had for some of these shots. But right now I'm just trying to get a feel for it, give it a bit of a chase around, whiz around, and just see exactly how quickly this thing likes to react. And the answer is really quickly. As I said, this is only my first day out actually flying this little drone. It's quick, very quick, and it was sure keeping me on my toes to make sure that I kept it exactly where I wanted it to be at all times. Okay, in this section here, what I really wanted to do was to try the height on this one. Just to get a really big, really high shot of the quarry that I was wandering around at the time. This is actually probably around about 40 meters up, so it's not the biggest, highest point that it can go to. I've got a later video which I'm going to put up where I actually took it up to a height of 100 meters, and the difference in terms of how small you look at the bottom is absolutely incredible. Make sure you check out on those later sections. As you see, massive panoramic views of the quarry itself, and as you see, it goes on for a long time. We're going to come back to this quarry at some point, and we're going to explore it in much further depth. So following this, what we did is we went to a much more local forested area, and the idea here was to work on some of that slow cinematic precision flying, trying to make sure that we could have a look at details of the flora and the fauna and everything else that was around, popping it into more difficult locations without actually damaging the drone itself, making sure we're nice and clear of all things, keeping an eye out for animals, birds, not wanting to disturb things as we're going around in these tight little areas. One of the things I really want to do was this, like being able to do filming without actually causing any damage. So as you can see, we've got these we've got the well-trodden path through the middle, but at the same time towards the outside we have unspoilt land. And one of the things that I like about the unspoilt land is the fact that it is unspoilt. It's something that you don't want to have to intrude upon too much. So one of the plans was for me to go across with the drone and to make sure that we could go into this unspoilt land without causing any footprints, without causing any damage. And it's video footage that we can go through where we appear to be going through a place that could have been there for hundreds of years, and it's completely unspoilt and completely and utterly person free, apart from, if you look deeply enough, you will actually see that there's fencing behind it. Now at this point what I wanted to do was, just like I said, to try and get nice and low to make sure that it was as close as it could be to anything that was underneath it without disturbing too much of it. Obviously with the rotor blades it can be difficult to do these things without actually disturbing what's around you. But I think that the panning and the way it went actually went really well. I think it was quite cinematic and it was really enjoyable to do that little bit of flying there. Now in this section what I wanted to do was to work on a reverse pan. Now you can just about make out this den area that's been made by some children in the area. And what I wanted to do was to do a bit where you would be focused on the object in the distance and then slowly backing it out, which is, you know, a very good cinematic scene to work on. And I thought I'd give it a first go with a nice little point of interest there. Now at this point what I wanted to do was to do the flying through the trees. Now if you ever watch anything like Natural Planet, anything like that on BBC One, you'll know that they always do this shot where you're within the tree line and then it rises up to give you a full view of the area. And I thought, I'm in a wooded area, I've got a nice clearing ahead of me and there's lots of stuff going on around me. So let's have a look, and I thought we'd go up through the trees, and it's a very delicate manoeuvre, I won't lie to you, it was a lot tighter than was expected when I went up there. So we went up, to the right there is a small reservoir just to the right hand side, literally just out of shot right now, but as we clear the trees you'll see there's actually a lot of building work going on. In the far distance there is a dumper, you've got building sites, scaffolding and the like to the left hand side. And it's actually, when I rose up from here, I actually didn't realise until this point how extensive the building work around my area was. It's actually incredibly close to the tree line, and as you can see, is actually quite extensive. But as I said, it's one of those things I wanted to see the level of detail that I could get while rising up and going through all this. There comes the reservoir into shot there. It's only a very small one, but it's, you know, it's another thing that I wouldn't even have seen without having to take this drone to a height that I wasn't expecting it to be at. Okay, so there you have. That's my initial flight with my DJI Mini SE. There is going to be more footage coming through. It's been I've been out 2 or 3 times since actually making this footage, just literally playing with it and having some fun. But if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more of them, make sure you like and subscribe. Other than that, I am the Bkbossman and you've been watching Boss Bites. Thank you very much for watching.